Hello and welcome back to South Coast Busways, where today we are back here at Jurassic County, looking out over Bournemouth and Poole, where I have a little bit of a treat in store for the folks at Mallard Road, which is more second-hand buses. Second-hand obviously from another part of National Busways, but second-hand nonetheless. Last time we handed down to them a fleet of these beautiful Wright Eclipse 3-bodied Volvo B8 RLEs. They do occasionally get new toys. These are some MMCs new to Jurassic County, wearing the beautiful Morse 2 scheme. Sometimes those second-hand vehicles are rather special. In the case of these DSEs here, these were the original Enviro400s. Well, the first ones National Busways got. A prototype batch of 16, with 12 of them going to country around London, and 6 of them going up to West Scotland, which, well, we're in 2005 on West Scotland, so we'll get there. And then, of course, we've got these B90L Wright Eclipse Gemini 2s, which came down from Midland Red. But it is time for more second-hand buses. But what are we going to run them on? Well, we're going to send them up to Wimbourne Minster. That is the 4, so this is going to be the 5 to Wimbourne Minster. And what is that way? What goes through Corfmullen? Oh, Corfmullen is kind of the end of the urban area. Got it. But Broadston is also there, so maybe Corfmullen is important. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that train of thought. Maybe the idea was Verwood, but we've already got stuff going up to Verwood from Bournemouth. And that would, I guess, be the 6 to do Poole to Verwood, or it'll probably be Poole to Ferndown. Yeah, it'd be the 6 that does Poole to Ferndown. But anywho, the 5 is going to run from Bournemouth somewhere. Actually, that's a good point. Where should we start it in Bournemouth? Because I don't know if I want to start everything in the town centre. I don't think that's the best option, given that I want really dense local coverage in Bournemouth, because this area, it seems like it'll be very hilly. So I think this is Cranford Cliffs. Yeah, Cranford. We could run it to Cranford Cliffs, maybe. How that would circularize, I don't know. But we could do it out to Cranford Cliffs, which could take some pressure off the 8 by going a different way. Or we don't go that way and we go further this way. Or we look closer to home, maybe. Trying to think. Okay, I've got thingy off to the side, OpenStreetMap off to the side, so I can see what I'm looking at in City Bus Manager, so I can see where my routes go, and on OpenStreetMap, so I can see a bit more detail about what's actually there. I think I like the idea of having it run out to Westbourne. So yeah, it'll be Westbourne, round that way, up through the square, down, into the station, out again, up this road here, then up this way, join the road across the top, up through Bearcross, through Merley, and then into Wimbourne Minster, the same way as the 4. And that will be the 5. it will indeed be the 5. So, the 5 from Westbourne St Ambrose Church to what was it called? Thing. Very descriptive. Westbourne St Ambrose Church to Wimbourne Minster. Let's go. No. Ignore that. Well, what was it, like FEC 507 or something? Yeah, that seems right. Okay, the 5 from Bournemouth. No, Westbourne to Wimbourne. Westbourne to Wimbourne Minster, and we will start it here. So post me, if you don't mind. And there is the 5 from Westbourne St Ambrose Church to Wimbourne Minster via Bournemouth Town Centre, Bournemouth Station. Where on earth did I go? Charminster, Moordown, Northbourne, Kinston, and Bear Cross. And Merley. I forgot Merley. But yeah, this is quite the run. And it's a fairly quick route, according to this. Like, consider how much of it spends sort of just fighting its way through urban areas. It's quite quick. Although I do have timing points to put in, so we'll see how much it slows down. But anywho, this looks like a fun route, and yeah, it'll put it in and it'll be nice, we hope. In other news, timetable time. And the timetable for the 5 is now complete, running between Westbourne and Wimbourne Minster up to every 20 minutes during the day, and up to every half hour on Sundays. So, just doing some final checks. Yep, 3-minute break there is fine. And at Westbourne we have 6:26 that goes on to the 6:35, so that should have... Perfect. So this is going to get a new vehicle type. Actually, no, we'll just put it on short MMCs. Because, well, technically it should be TE type and the other one should be short MMCs, because the other one are short MMCs. So, yeah, this is going to get the TE type. Some second-hand Enviro400s. From where? We'll see. And here is what we're getting from Solent Blue in the old scheme. By old I mean, oh, what was this called? New Image, that's it. The New Image scheme. It's not perfect. I've used the wrong lines on the UV part of the template to make some of it, but these are all easy fixes because I do my liveries in vector software rather than bitmap, so I'm not too fussed. Yeah, we have the usual don't mind me, I'm blue, not yellow, but yeah, and we have the sticker of depot label, and these will have come from the 6. We've got 18 MMCs on the 6 now, and we've got 16 of these classics that will have come from the 6. And this is the new facelift model. You can see it's got these little dimples in the headlight clusters. I don't know what they're for. Honestly, I don't even think they look that good. But here we are. And you can sort of see, it's kind of hard to see because I do the grey skirt, but the air dams kick out at the bottom, which I believe was for aerodynamics. I don't know, I feel like having a 14-foot wall is a bigger aerodynamic concern than the shape of your air dam. But, you know, I guess if you can make a small change to the air dam, because the 14-foot wall's kind of hard to get rid of, isn't it? Anywho, Bus, we have it. It's very nice. And this is going to be one of the earliest facelifted ones. It's going to be a destination display is going to say Jurassic County. It's going to say MR, and this bit is going to say TE. Let's think, because this is going to be an 11 reg. And the Enviro400 started in late 2005, technically, although there was only one on a 55 reg, so I think it was actually early 2006. So this would have been 5 years into the Enviro400's production run. And I'm thinking, would this maybe have been TE 725? Because we might have gone Trident mad in the early days, because the Trident was a really good product. And then this is probably going to be HJ11. And so the 6 goes to Paulsgrove. So I'm going to go to HJ11 PGA. There we go. Now I'm going to get the rest of these done in a happy little jump cut. And finally, we have HJ11 PGV, better known as TE740. Skipping a few letters so that we can get PGV, which would be the 3-letter abbreviation of Paulsgrove, presumably. But here are our 16 Enviro400s, ready to go, for now, just on the whatchamacallit. That was brilliant, well done me. The 5. It's a single-digit number. How on earth? I'm getting old, I swear. But now the northern side of Bournemouth looks a lot more covered, or the northern side of the Jurassic City, as I am calling this conurbation, looks much fuller, and certainly, you know, the orbital connectivity is pretty good, because there's a lot you can, like, you can't get a direct bus from Bear Cross down to Castle Point, but you can change here, so it's not that hard. Especially because National Busways frequencies tend to be quite high anyway. Is that true? The thing about the connections. Oh, I don't think it is. Well, there's the 3, but that goes this way, doesn't it? Yes. There's the 11. Which comes up from here. The U7 you'd be changing on to. Yes, you can. You would be changing on to the U7. I thought it would have been a U route. But anywho, it is now time for the Jurassic City Route 5 from Westbourne to Wimbourne Minster. Little recap before we get going. It starts down here at Westbourne St Ambrose Church and runs along to Westbourne Arcade, then through Bournemouth Town Centre, before running along the top here into Bournemouth Station, then back around the front, along the back road rather than the front road, then up following the 12 before branching off down. Where is that? What are you called? That is Charminster Avenue. Along to Portsmouth, along to Red Hill Roundabout, where we follow the 3, I think it is. Yeah, I think that's the 3. Yes it is. Before splitting off again to head through Kinston, Bear Cross, and Merley, where we join up with the 4 and run in together with the 4 to Wimbourne Minster. It's a good looking route. It takes about an hour and 10 minutes. It's an hour and 10 minutes one way and an hour and 15 minutes the other, I think. So it's not bad at all. So let's activate that, and I will bring you back when we have something to look at on the 5. And now it's time to join HJ11 PGB, better known as TE726, on its first run of the 5 from Wimbourne Minster into Westbourne via Bear Cross, Kinston, Charminster and Bournemouth. Coming out of Wimbourne Minster, we're only a minute or so behind a 4, and we have faster timings than the 4, so we catch up with it through Merley, which isn't great, but it means that we're not very busy through Merley either, which isn't great, but we move. Now we're on our own on our run in towards Bear Cross, where we've already picked up a minute of delay, but hopefully that's not going to be too bad. Why did it put OBS in front of CBM? And bear with. There we go. So coming down into this estate, I figured that there were no bus stops on the main road, but there were plenty through this estate, so maybe it was a good idea to serve here. And I think that was a good idea. I need to fix that. A shame that connection with the 400 is extremely tight, because that would have been useful, but we can put a normal bus route through there, which should be fine. Next, we're coming through, what would that be? It's called the Broadway. I think that's Northbourne. Yeah, it's Northbourne. Which is where we join up with the 3 once again. Once the game has had its moment, of course. But once we're joined up with the 3, we'll follow it for a couple of stops down Winterbourne Road. And then at Red Hill Roundabout, we'll interface with a whole bunch of other routes, including the U7, which is where passengers from Wimbourne or Bear Cross, etc. could change to go down to Castle Point for a little bit of retail therapy. But we are now rather busy. 38 on board. I think, given that this is the first bus ever on this route, double-decker was well advised. And splitting off from the northern road to head down into Bournemouth via Charminster, on Charminster Avenue and then Charminster Road, down to almost Cemetery Junction, but not quite. Then once we'll be coming off Charminster Road, not at Cemetery Junction as I just said, but onto Wellington Road, which is one street before, rather than going down Lansdowne Road like everything else. Basically just to keep it, keep some variety happening on these routings, so that we've not got a million buses going down one road and then like nothing in anywhere vaguely nearby. These are local buses, they're meant to be local. So local in fact that went down someone's driveway, but we move. But coming into Bournemouth, it's now incredibly busy. We've gone into the yellow for the first time, I believe. And we've still got that minute of delay. This, are they scripting the actual performance of these vehicles? Because this is a full-length E40D based Enviro400. So I can't imagine that these have all that much get up and go about them. So it's just it's kind of odd and very apt that this bus is struggling to keep to time, given that this is a hilly area and the E40D isn't the fastest of things, to put it mildly. Which is really weird, seeing as it has the... Right, CBM had a memory problem again. But we're back to normal. I lost no progress. It was a very weird memory problem, one I've not had before. Or one that's not manifested in that way before. I would like them if they all manifested in the way that one just did. Because I lost absolutely nothing. So, we're just coming around through Bournemouth. Now into Bournemouth Square, where everything goes, basically. And then we headed down a slightly different way into Bournemouth, sort of the big bit of Bournemouth, where all the hotels and stuff are, because Bournemouth is a seaside resort, if you weren't aware. Supposedly a fairly good one. I've never been, but Bournemouth seems nice enough. But getting into Bournemouth, because it's such a busy area, it is rather taxing on the old everything. So we might just have to be a little bit patient with this one. Right, there we go. Yeah, we've gone down a weird side road that I did not intend for. So we need a few waypoints that There's a few waypoints that need putting in, but all in all, not bad. Not bad at all. And then coming in through Westbourne, we will of course have local routes that come through here to do other things. That was descriptive. You know, we will have local routes doing local things around here. It won't all be these mainline services, but of course the mainline services are the backbone of the network, and we want to make sure that if people are going to use or if people can use a mainline bus route, they do, and the easiest way to ensure that is by putting the mainline routes in first. So, from the remainder of our new but not really new Enviro400s cascaded from Solent Blue, I will see you next week on the South Coast. Bye bye.